What's up, Primates? I'm Shane the Skeptic, and as always, I thank you for tuning into my channel to watch my content. Today, I'm fucking old, so that's what today's about. I'm fucking old, so I'm trying to make myself feel better by doing a Q&A. No, I'm just fine. I'm celebrating. Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about turning 25. I mean, at some point, yeah, I understand 25 is fairly young, but if you look at the average life expectancy being about 75, right? At 25, you've used up 1/3 of that, and I kind of wish I've like made more accomplishments and shit. But I mean, also, I mean, as long as you got a roof over your head, I feel like you're winning. And no, I'm not like ashamed of where I am in life or anything like that. I'm just, I don't know, still figuring shit out. But I'm happy to see as many people as I do here. So I'm gonna say hi to the people that are in the live chat. And today's a Q&A. So everybody throw your questions in, ask me anything. Obviously, I reserve the right to not answer your question if I don't fucking feel like it. That's just what it is. But probably, I don't know. It depends on your questions. I could answer what I will. Anyway, Ree says, "Yo, happy birthday, you fucking dork." Appreciate it, Ree. Thank you for being here. And tuning in as always, supporting me on the channel and elsewhere. As you have done for so long. I see Cosmic Kyle. Fuck Cosmic Kyle. No, I'm just playing. What's good, Cosmic Kyle? Hope you're doing well, man. Appreciate it. Okay, he's got my first question for me. He says, "What is your favorite uncommon color?" Got to pick an uncommon one. Well, green is my favorite color, but that's obviously not uncommon. I guess I would say purple. Yeah, purple is pretty uncommon. It's not very naturally occurring, I guess. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, damn. Peekaboo, happy quarter of a century. Damn, I've been saying half a 50-year-old, and I swear my mom almost swung at me for that. Quarter of a century. I could, yeah, okay. Well, thank you. Thanks, I hate it. All right, let's see. Question. Why Shane eyes look like he's starting a Bug's Life? Old Boston Terrier ass eyes. Well, I don't know that a Boston Terrier is a bug, so I gotta roast you back. Who do you think you are roasting me? What the fuck do you think I am? Somebody with a sense of humor? Mods! Nah, I'm playing. Just a friendly roast. Of course. Yeah, you know what the thing is though? I feel like it's just I could forgive a friendly roast. I cannot forgive inaccuracy. I don't feel like it's accurate. My eyes are normally kind of squinty, because I'd be smoking on that reefer. So I don't know. I guess what kind of bug? I think bug eye, I think big eye. Because they're bugs with different kinds of eyes. But not a Boston Terrier. That's I don't know. Oh, what's up, Pragmatic Crystal? Thank you for being here as regular. John Hudson, congrats. You're still just a kid. I appreciate it. Any condescending shit you could tell me. I'm not saying you're being condescending, but if you could, yeah, anybody wants to be like, oh, you're a kid, this, that, or whatever. Yep, I'll take it. I'll take it. I gotta say, a few months ago, well, a month ago, I was downtown in Austin, and there was this like charity group, and they asked me, like, "Excuse me, how old are you?" I said, or no, they asked me, "Are you 25 or older?" I said, "Oh well, I'll be 25 in a month." And they're like, "Oh well, contact us in a month." And I just had this realization. I was like, "This is probably the last time in my life that I will ever be too young for something." So I felt good about that. Let's see. Uh, you know what? You got me there. I fucking failed. Well, I'm a failed nudist. All right, that's everyone remember that. I was a nudist until I just got bad at it. Hola, mi amor. Saluda Colombia. ¿Cómo estás? The first person to say happy birthday to me today. Um, yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. And I'm very happy to have you in my life. I've been a lot happier since we started talking, mi amor. Let's see. Who else I got here? I guess I've addressed pretty much everybody, I think. So, um, let's see. What makes you want to dance? So I suck at dancing. Um, I've talked about this, but what makes me want to dance? Reggaeton. That's just ever since that's one of my biggest motivators to keep learning Spanish is just I really like reggaeton. It's just like my new favorite genre of music and has been for a while. So yeah, I would go with that. Um, let me see. All right, Cosmic Kyle got a question in. Okay, okay. If you want a substantial amount of money, would you continue living as you are or go extravagant? I'd say somewhere in between, because like I would never own a mansion, but like if I could, I don't know, have a few different apartments at the same time, so that I could fly around and just have somewhere to lay my head at all times. I mean, I would definitely travel more. Um, I mean, I do think you should indulge in the pleasures of life, including but not limited to bodily pleasures such as taste. So I'd be eating better food more often. So yeah, I mean, to a degree, yeah, but I really feel like if I had see, what I wouldn't do is I would never stop working. I feel like productivity is good for you as a person. So even if you don't depend upon, I mean, unless you're retired and you're just over it, that's different. But um, for me, I just feel like even if I won the lottery or whatever it was, right? I was a billionaire. I don't need to work anymore. I would still be working. I would just be working toward accomplishing causes that I believed in. So then I'd be using my money to do it, right? So the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. I would be right on that shit. And that's one of the reason I say fuck billionaires is because they live in the same world that we live in, and they have the money to solve not all problems, but holy fuck, a lot of them, and then they just don't solve those problems. Like, how are there enough? How do like three billionaires not just go, hey, let's each contribute to getting rid of the Pacific Garbage Patch? Let's just the three of us do that, right? No, they don't do that. Instead, they just want to hoard money like a bunch of fucking greedy pricks. Yeah, you know what? That is one thing that has changed about me is I used to think, well, there's nothing wrong with like having billions of dollars. I now think though there is such thing as having enough money, and I'm going beyond Kyle's question. There is an amount of money to have that I think becomes immoral because at some point you're hoarding what could be had by other people, and yeah, I like the saying about how if you had one monkey and it was hoarding more fruit than it could ever possibly eat, well, all the other monkeys around it were starving. Scientists would take that monkey aside and study it to figure out what the fuck was wrong with it, because it's a member of a social species. But when human beings do it, we put them on the cover of Forbes. We just praise them for doing the same shit, basically. So I don't know. Um, let me see. Would you be one of those people that leave their millions of dollars to their pets? Nah, I love my dog, but I just don't trust his spending decisions. I just don't think he'd spend wisely. Like if I could give my dog the ability to choose what he would spend money, I just feel like he would spend it on very mundane things, more food than he could ever eat. Just fucking, I don't know. Yeah. So, what's up, Assembly of God, or I should say, Assembly of God? Um, his dog is probably older than him. My dog's older than I was when I got him because I was 11 when I got him, and he's 14. So he is an old man. Um, yeah, but let me see who else. I don't know, man. More questions. Throw me more. It could be anything. Your dog's turning 16. Well, I mean, hell yeah. Good for you for keeping your dog going that long. That's fucking dope. Mm, okay, here's a question. Okay, how would you plan the perfect government? More democracy or more capitalism? I'd say democracy and capitalism both have their flaws. Capitalism has more flaws. You know, I would say one of my strongest political principles is a separation of church and state. I think religion should not be involved in the government. And this is not only for the well being of secular individuals, but for religious individuals as well, because if you're a Christian, right, you probably don't want to live in a country ran by Sharia law, ran by Islamic laws, right? You don't want Muslim politicians to take control of the government and start passing laws in the name of Islam, especially if they start forcing you to say, Allah be praised at the end of, I don't know, the national anthem or something like that. Like you would lose your shit over it, right? So I just think if you want people of different religious groups to be able to coexist and all flourish within a country, I'm not saying ban their right to be religious. That would be very problematic. That would be authoritarianism that I don't believe in. But again, just keep religion out of the government, right? So that you could have non-religious people and religious people of different religious groups involved in the government. So for me, that's just kind of the foundation, or one of the foundations of establishing like a good government. But if I have to pick between one of the two options I'm being given here, more democracy, more capitalism, I'm going to say more democracy. Um, while simultaneously recognizing, especially even more lately, that democracy, of course, has its flaws. Have I smoked my birthday bowl yet? Do you know who I am? Who do you think I am? Right, like I would have gone this far into the day and not smoked weed. Come on now, don't you know me? Yo, okay, on the way. What's up, Darrell? Thank you, man. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good. All is good with you and your family. I stay watching your videos. Anybody that's into car content, if you like seeing, everything having to do with cars, this guy's the channel to go to. I've been entertained as hell. I gotta say, there needs to be an award for like owner of the most dedicated haters. This guy gets the most dedicated haters, and I had the best time just watching them get on their phone. Darrell, blah 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 blah. You do this and you do that, and you're on YouTube, and you always talk about us. This guy. Somebody made over 50 goddamn videos about this guy, and then says he'll. Oh man, it is the funniest goddamn thing. I personally think if you get on YouTube and you don't get any haters, you're doing something wrong, right? Um, and so if any, I'm should I get haters, but I don't get them dedicated like Darrell does. See, that's where I'm envious. I'm envious of the dedication people have to disliking you. So keep doing what you're doing because obviously you're doing something right. That's what I'm gonna say. Let's see. Okay. In light of recent UFO sightings and all the hysteria around that, would you be the person to go with the aliens if they offered to leave Earth? Um, I would be the person to try to help translate for the aliens because I feel like I might be able to figure out a little bit of their language better than no, better than the average Joe. But I'm not a linguistic expert, but shit. Um, would I be the person to go with the aliens? Hell no. I don't trust no fucking aliens, bro. What are they gonna do? Like, I no, like real talk. If aliens, like I'm not thinking aliens are ever gonna come down. But if aliens ever came down and were like, hey, we want a person to take with us, and he volunteers, I'm not the guy raising my fucking hand. Because think about it. Imagine if aliens care about us as much as we care about animals. And look how we treat animals. I'm not even a vegan, and I realize that the way we treat animals is fucked up, right? So I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, let's see. Make sure. Okay. If you could solve one global problem right now, what would it be? Poverty. Boom. Just done. Poverty. You can pick between poverty and starvation, but I think solving poverty fixes the starvation problem, right? Um, I mean, I raise awareness of this fact very often on my channel and on other platforms. Y'all know that like 73% of the world lives under the poverty belt. So basically, like 70% of the world is starving, right? Like it's people realize that, right? So let's just remember that, you know. I try to remind myself that all the time. Not that that means my problems don't matter, but I mean, you do have to look at it from the perspective of how things are in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I mean, then again, if I could pick between disease and hunger, if it's all disease, I'm picking disease over the hunger thing. But if it's one disease or hunger, I'd pick hunger to solve as a problem. So, yep. Yeah, but good question, Ree. Let's see. What would you do if you was God? Well, rape would be physically impossible. Hunger wouldn't exist. Diseases would stop happening. Um, Let me think. What else? I, I, hmm. I mean, it's just like there's so much you could do. It's like where do you even begin, right? I would make reincarnation real, and every climate change denier would be a polar bear or a penguin. And so they just have to come back and then suffer the consequences of shit that they argued wasn't real and happening. Can you imagine that? I see, like I like the idea, like of a certain kind of karma. And for me, like if reincarnation was real, because y'all know I don't believe in an afterlife, but if it was one, I mean, I think that's a pretty good. But then it's like, what do you get to be reincarnated as? That is great. I don't know. I would endow everyone with empathy, sympathy, compassion, and tolerance. Yeah, that is a good. I know that was in response to the "if you were God" question. Yep. I would make everyone endowed. I, I had to. Let's see. Uh, he has the same response, kind of. Print more money. Yeah, I wish that would solve the problem, right? Let me see. Let me see. Hey yo, what's up, Oz? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in, man, and thank you for the happy birthday message. Appreciate it. You can't have a true democracy with capitalism. I disagree. I don't think there's anything that's like logically inconsistent about having a democracy while also having capitalism. Um, yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, if he was talking about the thing I was mentioning earlier, again, I'm goddamn envious. I'm envious of the haters. See, my haters just announce that they're leaving and then they leave. Like when I get haters, like I'll have my haters are all former fans normally. I guess not all of them, most of the time. And then some video will piss them off and they'll leave a comment explaining why they don't like my video anymore. I had a guy leave a comment on, if you guys go look at my video, it's called An Objective Thinker in a Biased World. And I basically just called out examples of hypocrisy and bias amongst left and right wing groups, right? And all I talked about was examples of people being biased and like tribal because of it, right? And if you go watch that video, you watch that video, you if you're I think a rational person at all, you're going to say what the fuck is offensive about this video, right? Okay, four people at least that I know of have unsubscribed because of that video. One of the people was an account that's fucking profile picture was Biggie Smalls, and I just thought to myself, who the fuck listens to Biggie Smalls? Like you could stomach that, but then I'm offensive. I'm not talking down on Biggie. I like Biggie, but I'm just saying, if between my YouTube channel and Biggie Smalls, one of these is offensive content, like come on, people are so full of shit, bro. I had a guy. I'm kind of rambling on something else, but I had a guy. I won't say the full name. His name was Jonathan. Guy supported my content, including financially, for like a year and a half, 2 years, right? Because he thinks I'm intelligent and he likes what I work toward or what I stand for and what I do with my content. I post a meme on Facebook saying disobeying police doesn't justify police killing you. I did not say there's no such thing as a scenario in which an officer is justified in using lethal force. That I did not say, but that's how he took it. And then he starts commenting about how I'm wrong for this thing I never said. I respond that I never said what he's so offended about. And then he goes, "You're stupid and I don't want to support stupidity. I'm done supporting you as of this moment." So I don't know. Like my haters are always just fans that one day I piss them off. And I think part of the thing is everybody likes me at first because they hear me ridiculing bullshit that they agree is bullshit too. But then one day I start ridiculing something that they don't think is bullshit and then they don't like me anymore. That's where people go, "Oh man, you liked me when you heard me ridicule things that you share my criticism of, but then when you see that same mentality being put onto something that you like, you oh fuck Shane the skeptic. He's this, he's that, he's an incel, he's an idiot, he's a fucking whatever." Like people are gonna call you whatever they're gonna call you, man. Like fuck them. Haters gonna hate. All right, let's see. Um, that I'm going with the aliens. Not sorry. Yeah, see, I mean, I would happily watch what happened, but I wouldn't trust no fucking aliens, man. I wouldn't trust them. They're gonna dissect you, try to figure out the biology of a human being. You're the first specimen that they have. They're trying to learn, man. Um, I like I like that. I like that. That's a good comment. I appreciate that comment. Bravo. Bravo. I'm thinking the Amazon jungle. Yeah, I'm thinking, what would I like more? A trip to the paradisiacal beach. I don't even know if I've ever said that out loud before. I've read it, but I haven't said it out loud. Or the Amazon jungle. I'm thinking the Amazon jungle. Yeah. Just wonder how bad the bugs are in that jungle. It's got to be terrible. Just imagine how scared you'd be if you've never been in if you're somebody like myself who has I've been in Central America, but I haven't been in South America yet. Changing that in April. I don't know. You're in another continent and you get a bug bite and you don't know what it is. I'd be freaked out in any continent. Hell, I still get freaked out when that happens here in Texas. We have more bugs than I know in Texas. You get bit and just hope, at least it's not like Australia where there's a good chance it's poisonous or toxic, I should say, venomous. So, yep, yep. Okay, question: Yahweh or Allah? You have to pick one. Um, I could just be an asshole and say that, you know, Allah and Jehovah both come from Yahweh, so they both come from the same God, the Abrahamic God. But I know what you mean, so I gotta address your question as you mean it, man. Um, fuck, man, that is a stumper right there. Uh, the 72 virgins in the afterlife is kind of enticing. I think I'm gonna go with Yahweh. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Yahweh. Allah seems to have done a much better job at instilling the fear of hell into Muslims than Allah has to Christians. I mean, if or than Yahweh has to Christians. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think so. They Muslims do a really good job at making hell sound scary. I'm not saying the Christians don't. I don't want to like belittle anyone's religious trauma. I'm just saying like Muslims do a better job with the scaring of hell thing, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Muslims seem to have a more agreed upon description of hell than Christians do. Some Christians will say, "Oh, hell is just separation from God." Some Christians will say, I don't know, they have different things that they say, right? It's eternal fire. Yeah, I'm going with Yahweh over Allah, but oh yeah, that's my favorite too. It's people acting like they care as an excuse to be malicious. Hey, if you're an asshole, just be an asshole. But and if you care about people, then care about people. I do both separately, but I don't pretend that I'm an asshole to somebody because I care about them. See, that's something I can't fucking stand. Ha, NIMBY aliens. Yeah. NIMBY aliens. Ah, let me see. No comment. Thank you. Let me see. Blessed be he. Purify yourself. He showed you the way. Have you forgotten? Oh man. I understand that it's really difficult for a lot of people to accept that somebody can be raised with their same beliefs, ask honest questions, and investigate and realize that Christianity is not true. So you have to tell yourself that somebody is just suppressing their knowledge or something like that. And you're never going to accept the fact that I used to be a Christian myself, that I prayed nonstop, hoping that God would reveal himself to me. I at one point used to lie to myself and say that he did reveal himself to me, but then I started realizing that I was bullshitting myself, and I just had a lot of people in my life that never really accepted the fact that they were bullshitting themselves about it. But you know what? I hope you find truth one day. Blessed be he. Find truth and leave Christianity behind. I do like the part of the Bible that says we should set down childish things, and I think what better to start with than Christianity. Um, Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm again half of a 50-year-old. I feel old. I feel old. Nope. Estoy libre esta noche. I am off tonight. I am off. Hell yeah. Yep. You know what? This is in response to the alien thing. I'm kind of with you. That's what they might do. That is what they might do. That is what they might do. And even if it's not an anal probe, okay, what's the alternative? They cut you open with a fucking scalpel. Kyle wants to go with the aliens. Yeah, you want to until you actually go with the aliens, Kyle. Imagine one day Kyle gets picked up by the aliens and they just smoke alien weed with him. I would have to ask, that's the first thing I'd ask aliens. Do you have alien weed? Do you have alien alcohol? What are your drugs? Like, if there was other intelligent life, I'd go, I want to know what drugs you guys do. Do you guys have mind altering substance? Do you have things that are like more socially acceptable to help you wake up? Like we have caffeine. Yeah. No, no. Favorite adult animation go. I mean, I grew up watching Family Guy more than any other cartoon. Family Guy has always been hilarious to me. And there are some jokes that I did not get as a kid that later it just clicked. The joke from Family Guy clicked. And I really like the one where Peter becomes gay and he says, see, I never really got the joke because I didn't understand the context. But if anybody hasn't seen this episode, Peter goes to the doctor to try a bunch of experimental drugs, vaccines, whatever, and there's different side effects, and they experiment on him with something called the gay gene, and basically it makes him gay, right? So for this episode, he's gay, and he ends up saying to Lois, "I'm here, I'm queer, but don't get used to it because I'm leaving you." And I didn't understand why that was so funny, but it's because it was making fun of the statement in a sense, or yeah, kind of playing with the statement. Because people LGBT activists have said like, we're here, we're queer, and get used to it because we're not going anywhere. But he said, I'm here, I'm queer, but don't get used to it because I'm leaving you. That shit was fucking funny. I didn't even understand the joke. So yeah, I'd still go with Family Guy. Although Rick and Morty is an easy second though, and I gotta say, Rick and Morty, like, and if you've ever dealt with a narcissist in your life, or certain abusive behavior in your life, Rick and Morty could be triggering for that reason. But it's just undeniably a genius fucking show. And see, my thing is also like I could dislike part of a show or even be offended by something, and I just don't take my offense to a certain joke and then throw it to the cancel mob or stop watching it myself. Like comedian Bill Burr, he said things that joked about issues that were kind of close to me, and I guess I could use the word offended. I felt offended by the joke, but that doesn't mean I'm never going to listen to Bill Burr. No, it doesn't even going to mean I'm going to turn the special off. I just feel like at some point I just get offended, be offended, move on, deal with it. And if you can't deal with being offended, there's certain content that you shouldn't be watching. You know, Dave Chappelle is hilarious, but he's not for everybody. And I think there are certain people who, if they don't want to watch Dave Chappelle because, of issues that he jokes about, their feelings are valid. They're entitled to those feelings. They're not obligated to watch Dave Chappelle. But then that's the thing. They're just not obligated to tell me I can't watch any content, right? So that's kind of my thing about. I started talking about cancel culture, but you can see how I would segue there from adult animation. So let's see. Fucking blessed be he, man. You're definitely going to convince me that your God exists by commenting bullshit like, "Are you purified? What's your excuse?" Even the mustard seed knows the way. Mustard seeds don't know things. This is your problem. Is you think inanimate objects can know things. No, a mustard seed doesn't know anything. That's one of the sillier things that I have heard from a Christian on YouTube. Even the mustard seed knows the way. I'm trying to find out like how this could even be metaphorically interpreted in a way that isn't fucking stupid. Oh man, am I purified? No, I'm a filthy sinner, and I like it that way. I believe in loving myself for who I am. Fuck your God. If your God exists, mate, strike me with lightning right now to prove to people that it's real. In the name of Allah, in the name of Jehovah, in the name of the Father be thy name, the Lord thy God, if you're real, strike me with lightning, and so everyone can laugh at me and know that you're real. You know what's funny is sometimes if I do that in front of Christians, they actually get nervous, like something might happen. Like, oh, yeah. What do women want? Oh, you've definitely come to the right guy. I don't know. I can tell you what they don't want. They don't want, depending on what part of the world we're talking about. American women don't like me. I'm gonna be real. Yeah, they don't. And that's cool. I don't gotta hate on them and bitch about it. They can go find whatever it is that they like. Tengo amor en mi vida elsewhere. What do women want? Man, they're not all the same person, though. Remember that. They don't all want the same thing. This is something that people, it sounds easy to not forget this, but you do got to kind of remind yourself that women all think differently. So, what one woman really appreciates and respects and wants in a man may be everything that turns another woman off. So, like, for example, you could see a girl headed toward a door, right? You see this woman walking, she's headed toward a door. You're closer to the door than she is. You decide, I'm gonna be a gentleman, I'm gonna open the door for her, right? She could be some hardcore feminist, and her response to you opening the door could be like, you think I can't do it myself because I'm a woman? You think that I need a man to open a door for me? How insulting to my intelligence and my ability. And then you might go, man, I'm sorry, man, I am just sorry. I just wanted to do a kind thing. I didn't mean to make you feel like lesser. I won't do it again. And then the next time you see a woman headed toward a door and you're closer to it, you think, oh, I've learned my lesson. Women don't want that. Well, now this other woman might be thinking, wow, chivalry is dead. You saw that I was headed toward the door. You didn't even get it open for me. You're not a gentleman. You're not this, that. You know what I mean? So just be you, be authentic. You know, figure out what you think is the right way to be, and find somebody who wants whatever it is that you authentically are. It's better to be rejected for who you are than accepted for who you pretend to be. That's the way that I look at it. So, um, I don't know that you were asking for that kind of advice, but that's what I could tell you. Just be you, be authentic, be a good person, and you know that's it. We're gonna be wrong about shit at times, and that's just part of life, you know. All right, I will, Kyle. I will. Yep, yep. You get it. You get it. It's a fucking brilliant show. It is. Okay, hold up. Let me. I accidentally scrolled to the bottom, so let me go back down. Okay, cool. I'm where I needed to be. Hit you with a link of a video I'm reviewing tonight. If you're down, I'd love to have you join me. For sure, I might be drunk. Might be. I will be drunk, and thus I don't know if I'll be available, but if I am available, I'll be drunk. So, yeah, expect that. Okay. My question, speaking of cancel culture, LOL. Anyway, my question is the Kabbalah designed for people with autism? Uh, Not likely. If I'm not mistaken, was the Kabbalah not designed way before autism was diagnosed or discovered or come up with as a diagnosis? Am I wrong here? Um, do you like beef teriyaki? Oh, fucking love it. Yeah, you can't go wrong with beef teriyaki. Come on now. Come on now. Yo, yo, my favorite chef. Hope you're doing well out there, man. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, my dude. Are feminist women? Most people who identify with the feminist label are women. Um, there are male and female feminists, and women are not all feminists. There are plenty of women who are anti-feminist. And I mean, I appreciate nuanced people who are critical of feminism. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Most of the time, I listen to women who are. Um, I definitely would not consider myself somebody who is what's it called, on board with men's rights activists, men's rights communities, men's rights groups. I think very often men's rights groups they make good points sometimes. They talk about issues that are important sometimes, right? Like male suicide rates, like um yeah, just like women being more likely to get custody potentially unfairly, right? Um but then like misogyny is just all too common a theme, and things like slut shaming, different things that I don't agree with are just way too common in those groups and people who identify with that label. And so I wouldn't call myself a men's rights activist for that reason. And similarly, I think I'm less on board with feminism because um a lot of feminists make good points, raise awareness of issues that I agree with are issues. Um, but then misandry is just all too common a theme amongst feminist groups and people who wear that label. So I think that feminists and men's rights groups both, they have their radicals, and then they have their less radicals who actually make some good points and potentially, aren't really holding incompatible views with one another. I just think people should be, instead of like picking sides, men versus women, we should all be striving for human flourishing. And of course, that's going to involve defending people who need to be defended. So yeah, I don't know. I just kind of talked about a few different issues, but um, yeah, are feminist women most of the time? Yeah, but no, not always. There are countless male feminists. Um, Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, potentially. Depends on what you mean by a real man. Different people have concepts of what a real man is, but yeah, I think I get what you're saying. Um, he said, "You'll need to be drunk for this shit." Oh man, I should have thought about that. That is how that if you're reviewing a video, chances are I need a fucking drink. That's part of the theme of your streams. Now that I think about it, isn't it? That's why you pause and play drinking music. Yeah, yeah, okay. Now I think about it. Okay, see, this is actually the kind of thing I was describing earlier, though. So he said I pulled over to help this lady who was staring at her spare tire in the trunk. I asked her if she would like some help. She replied, "What do you think I'm? You don't think I'm capable? Well, bye, biatch." I mean, yeah. At some point, see, this is the thing: is some people so a lot of women who are, very regularly consuming feminist content, I feel like some of them have kind of programmed themselves to think that anytime a guy does anything that's trying to help them, that he necessarily is coming from a place of thinking that they're incapable. And there are also some things that are just easier to do with two people, right? And so I think this leads to a lot of men who want to be respectful being less inclined to offer help because so often that offer for help is taken as, oh, you think I'm lesser than you, right? So you say fuck it and you drive off. um yeah, there's always going to be people who read your intentions as something other than what they really are, right? And all I could say is this is true for every individual. Nobody knows your intentions better than you do. Yeah, it depends exactly. And this is part of the thing is there are various different schools of feminism, right? And feminists don't universally agree on which groups that label themselves as feminists are feminists, right? So you have the group that's referred to as trans exclusionary radical feminists. Well, people who aren't on board with them will say that they're not feminists. So here you have two different camps that both wear the feminist label and disagree with each other about whether the other one is really feminist. And so, yeah, again, I do think it's important. How do you define feminism? It's different. It's different things. Yes, yes, I love me some chitlins. And you know what, dude? I don't even remember the word for it, but I remember I was at the dog park and some people started talking about there was some other word they were using. It was chitlins that they were referring to. They were referring to it as something else. And I said, "What is that?" And they said, "Oh, it's a type of food that comes from pig intestines." And then they said this, um, black people call them chitterlings, and I was like, that's what I know them as. What do you call them? And I don't even remember what they called him. Apparently, white people, other than myself and you, have some other word. White people, what do you call chitterlings? If you're in, if you, Josh, Josh is a white guy who knows his food. Josh, what do you call chitterlings? I want to. I'm out of touch with what white people call chitterlings. I swear, there was another word they were calling them though, and I fucking don't remember what it was. I'm gonna have to Google the shit later. Okay, where can I find the best tacos in Austin, Texas? So the by far the best pastor tacos are going to be Taco Way on 6th Street. Yeah, that's for pastor. And then when it comes to the best chicken tacos, I'm going to say I don't remember the name of the trailer, but it's the trailer on if you're on 6th Street and you go off of Netches and you have, where there's all those food trucks, there's like the barbecue truck, the pizza truck, there's a taco truck, and then like a halal food truck. There's like those four next to each other. The street tacos at where those four trucks are, the chicken, that's where the best chicken tacos are. So yeah, keep that in mind. The best chicken tacos and the best pastor are at different trucks, but that's yeah. And I'm somebody who gets around Austin. Yeah, I'm not just on Sixth Street, but I do think the best tacos are both right there. But yeah, no, if you're going for pastor, taco way, taco way. It's funny because every fucking people at every truck here know me. And it's funny because I get a different thing regularly at different trucks that they all have their specialty. So people will see me and they'll say lo mismo, and I just como siempre. And you notice I get something different, even though lo mismo means the same. And then I say como siempre, that means as always. So the same as always, right? Um, yeah, uh that's what I'll get. So yeah, yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Hey, what's up, Amy? Thank you for tuning in. Glad to have you here. Hope that you're doing well, staying safe, all of that. As you know, wishing nothing but the best to you. How often do you talk to R and Ra? Not often. We haven't we don't contact each other on Messenger or anything. But we recognize each other, right? So if you had Aaron and I in the same social setting, he would recognize me, offer me whatever kind of beer he brought because he always brings some kind of beer to wherever he's going. Um, yeah, but I haven't talked to Aaron since I seen him at Faithless Forum, so I'm not very personal. Like I don't know him really well, right? Like I don't know, Anthony Magnabosco and I talk fairly regularly, right? So he's somebody that I'm more in contact with. Aaron Raw, we know each other and everything. Yeah, we're not on super close terms or anything like that though. He doesn't know me super well. All right, all right. I will give you a call. We'll give you a call. Let me see. Let me see. I don't think it was tripe. I don't think it was. I don't know. Okay. Yep. We're on the same page here. He said giblets. Giblets is something different though, right? I know I don't really like with chicken giblets. I know that I don't really like I don't like the texture at all. But anybody listening, if you ever go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles out in LA, this is the one place where I get giblets every time, even though I hate the texture of giblets because the flavor. The giblets from Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, there's just nothing matches the flavor that you get from that. Need me some Roscoe's. Walk around Long Beach with a fucking Roscoe's t-shirt. Pretty easy way to be popular with the locals out there. It's pretty funny. I remember I can't say how many people were like, that's a dope shirt. I like that shirt. It's like you get street cred for having a fucking Roscoe's t-shirt. People fucking love Roscoe's. Have you ever had liver and onions? As long as I've lived in the South, I don't think I have. No, I haven't. Would you recommend it? Is it good? Not much of a liver eater. And I've been happy with the response. So I'm happy that people have been staying active. So if you guys are here, stay active in the chat. I'll probably end this stream in the next 10 minutes or so. But yeah, maybe sooner if the questions all come to a stop. But shit, all right, man. The questions today have been easier than I expected them to be. That's good. I thought I was gonna be sitting here answering difficult life questions and just bullshitting like I had answers to them. I'm so glad I don't have to do that. All right, come on, guys. I'm getting dead air. Dead air up in here. All right, let me look up in the chat a little bit because I'm missing questions. All right, I'm gonna pick one of my questions that I used for my thumbnail. So I'm answering one of my own questions. So now we getting cringe. So now I'm gonna have to end this shit soon, probably. Um, One of the questions I put, because I put like ideas basically in the thumbnail, right? Was how many languages do I speak? I will say this much. I'm still only fluent in English. People consider me bilingual because my Spanish is beyond simple conversations at this point. Um, my current, let's say, love interest is somebody who doesn't speak English natively. So, she's not a native English speaker. I'm not a native Spanish speaker. And my Spanish is good enough for us to have and communicate our connection with one another. So, um, yeah, but on a basic level, 4 languages, because I speak a little bit of Japanese and a little bit of Swahili too, but not enough that I could really converse with somebody. So I could converse obviously in English and in Spanish. Um, and then I know the basics with Japanese and Swahili. I know how to ask you where you're from, tell you what my name is, ask you what your name is, count to 10, say good morning, how are you, how did you sleep, that kind of stuff. But you know, I don't know. Um, so yeah, I need to know your answer to the pineapple question. The pineapple on pizza question? Absolutely. I like to get pineapple and jalapeno. So you get a little bit of you get saltiness from the pizza and the tomato in it and everything, that sauce, right? And then you get sweetness from the pineapple, and there's a citrusy sweet kind of sweetness there. And then you have spicy from the jalapeno. Who the fuck is like and the fact that people bitch about pineapple pizza so much only makes me like it more. I was talking about haters earlier, right? I'm only more motivated to eat pineapple pizza knowing that people hate it. I hope I lose a subscriber or two today because somebody's like, "Fuck you, pineapple pizza eater." Yeah, and fuck you for complaining about it. Pineapple pizza is the shit. I really hope I am offending somebody. This is one circumstance where I want to be offensive. I want if you are offended by me liking pineapple on pizza, then I want to offend you. Straight up. I'm going. I will die on this hill. I'm passionate about it. I knew you were a pineapple pizza kind of guy. Hell yeah on jalapeno. There we go. Somebody gets it. Favorite operating system. If Apple didn't deliberately make its old products slow down to force people to buy their new products, I might want to go with them. But they're a bitch ass company for doing that. So fuck Apple. Yeah, I don't know. I Windows, go with Windows. But I'm not a huge computer guy, so I don't have a very informed perspective. All right, that is also a valid opinion that I could respect. Yep, bacon on pizza, never bad. So we've talked about this before. So being from the West Coast, I have a bias that makes me want to say West Coast hip hop, but I think that a lot of the problems that have poisoned hip hop are problems that stem from West Coast hip hop. So if you listen to like hip hop's sort of downfall, I think a lot of it starts with West Coast hip hop glorifying rather than reflecting upon toxic aspects of the lifestyle that is involved with hip hop culture, issues that took place and continue to take place within the ghetto, right? So I think that's part of the problem with West Coast hip hop is, we've glorified gang colors and rags and crip walking and blood walking and shooting people over what color shirt they're wearing and throwing up a set. I think a lot of that's been more glorified by West Coast hip hop culture. I think with East Coast hip hop, you're more likely to come across, you know, so there's the apologetic for hip hop. If anybody doesn't, an apologetic is just a defense of something. So you could be an apologist for hip hop, right? the apologetic for hip hop is ultimately that, when people talk about hip hop and rap being violent, the artist response, the apologetic, is that hip hop is a reflection of one's environment, and hip hop artists live in a violent environment. So what you see paint the picture you see painted by the hip hop artist is going to contain what, again, it's a reflection of an environment, and his environment is the ghetto. um but I do think there's a difference between writing to raise awareness of issues that you go through and talking about the struggles that you go through versus glorifying violence and glorifying shooting people. um so yeah, I would have to go with East Coast as far as substance goes overall. Um, yeah, and then a lot of people want to give. Everybody thinks of Tupac as a West Coast rapper, but Tupac is actually originally from the East Coast. He just blew up in the West Coast. So really, one could very easily argue that Harlem gets credit for Tupac, New York, East Coast, right? So I don't know. Let's see. Greatest rapper alive. I feel like I should know what my answer to this is, and I just don't. Um Island Boys. I should be shot for saying that. No, I'm just gonna go with I don't know on this one, to be real with you, man. Um a rap fan should have an answer to this. So I feel like I've failed as a rap fan for not having an answer, but I'm just being blunt. I'm hard to pick. I'd have to meditate on that one for a minute. Um are you and Bar gonna team up for a song? I'm not opposed to it. Same with Blade and Blaytheist. I almost said same with Black Atheist Rant. That's what Bar stands for. So I'm fucking okay. Yeah, no, but either of them, their music goes hard. Both of them, very talented artists, talented lyricists, solid delivery, good quality microphones that they use for it. So, yeah, I would definitely, be down to have them on a verse. I've got a song that I'm working on right now called the Christian God, and the song is basically I'm rapping from the perspective of God, the God from the Bible, right? And yeah, that shit goes hard. Um, why is there an East Coast West Coast division in rap? Sounds like the Roman Empire against the Persian. Um, man, the history of hip hop conflict between West Coast and East Coast. I mean, rappers dissing each other, having differences in subculture. Everybody wanting to represent their side and being from different sides. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's a really more complex answer than that that I don't really have the time to articulate. But I mean, to just go from the get go, yeah. When you have people who are passionate about representing their side and they're from different sides, and then somebody disses somebody else, it's all beef from there. It's all downhill from there. So I think that's a solid answer to the question asked earlier by Oz. So yeah, yeah. No, people love to watch conflict. Oh, it's like I mentioned at the beginning of this stream. My dude Darrell the Savage. I start watching his content, his live streams or whatever. I see this dude start making videos every day, every damn day. This guy makes a video about Darrell, and every fucking I don't know, 3 weeks, a month, 5 weeks, Darrell will say one thing back to him, and the guy will just blow up making 50 more fucking videos. And conflict, it's entertaining. I don't like drama, but there's also at the same time conflict is just intrinsically entertaining. So, I mean, if I had a hater, you guys, that had made 50 videos with me, and I was gonna do a video responding to that person, you guys know you would be tuned in for that stream, right? If anybody hasn't seen me reviewing fucking Darth Dawkins and his goons, They reviewed a video of mine and talked a bunch of shit. Claimed repeatedly that they would love to talk to me, love to debate me, love to question me. None of them ever reached out. It's been a year since I responded to them. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen the video where I responded to Darth Dawkins, are you not interested now that I told you? You probably are because it's something to do with conflict. And if I debated him, you probably would want to watch it, right? Because it's conflict. And you know that I would be more condescending than I've ever been in my life. And you would love watching it because it would be well deserved. Yeah, you would. Conflict's entertaining. I don't know why I'm dragging that out so much. I really just have been rambling about that point for more for more than I needed to. Um, the scam callers, yeah, those ones are pretty funny. Okay, hold up. Do you think the more geographical separation between humans, they evolve more respectively? Is rap conflicts proof of evolution in action? Um, well, rap conflict is proof of or an example of tribalism, and I think tribalism is something that we evolved to have. But I wouldn't say directly that rap conflict is proof of evolution in action. Um, Although, I mean, for the reasons of tribalism, and tribalism being something that we're evolutionarily inclined towards, in that sense, yes. Um, but let me go to the first part. Do you think the more geographical separation between humans, they evolve more? No. I mean, they evolve differently depending on where they live, right? Because if they live in different climates, they'll have different, I don't know, mutations that get selected within accordance to their climates. So, but we're all the same species. So, like, I don't know. Kind of. I guess my answer is kind of. That's a really shitty answer to that question, but yeah. All right, and I'm gonna be wrapping this one up pretty soon. I'll take like 2 to 5 more questions. So if you guys want to get anything out, any new questions out, now's the time because I'm about to wrap up. Smoke more weed, start getting drunk, start yeah, doing what you're supposed to do on your birthday, right? Thank you. Likewise, much respect. He's just sleeping. I don't want to bother him. Thank you. Likewise, you too. All right, if I don't get another question in the next like 30 seconds or so, I'm just gonna take it down from here. But I'll start saying right now that I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm glad to be in a good mood on my birthday because very often I'm not in a good mood on my birthday. So, especially the fact that it's the 25th, and like I said, it's a third of that 75-year lifespan. If you live to be 75, I'm a third way, done with my life. But yeah, no, I'm in a good mood. Y ahora estoy más contento porque yo tengo amor en mi vida. Bueno, he says, get drunk responsibly. Yep. I don't even drive, so nobody has to worry about me drinking and driving because I don't even drive sober. So, yep. Let me just take this one on as quick as I can. So, what is the meaning of life? I think is a question that we ask from this sort of assumption that there is an answer rather than recognizing this nuance that there are various different things in life which we could attribute meaning to, right? And derive meaning from. So, um, it would be not entirely true, not entirely false to say love is the meaning of life. I do think, especially as a social species, and given the way that we've evolved, love is very important for our psychological well-being, our flourishing, things like that. But also, being loved isn't the only thing that matters. I wouldn't say that, oh, if you have loving your life, that therefore your purpose is fulfilled. I think there are other things too. Um, I think responsibility is another thing in life that gives that you could derive meaning from. And this is one of the reasons why earlier I was saying that even if I was a billionaire, I would still be working somehow. I would still be being productive. I just would be being productive toward causes as opposed to simply my income. But even my job, I'm contributing to, I stock groceries. So because of me, there's groceries on the shelf. I want to live in a world where there's stores with food on the shelf, right? So I'm still contributing and to the world being the kind of world that I want to live in by going to work, by having that kind of job. So I think, definitely figure out between responsibility, between human relationships. Human relationships have various different kinds, right? So relationships are a big part of the meaning of life. Um, but yeah, so yeah, there's different areas from which meaning can be derived. I will tell you that much. And I have a video on that you should watch, Amy, about what is the meaning of life. If you scroll through my videos, you'll find it. I made one. It's like 3 minutes long or something. That's a better articulated version of the answer that I just gave you here. Um, Yep, yep. But okay, and I'm glad. You know what, Amy gave me a perfect closing question. So, thank you for that. Thank you everybody for all your questions. And even those of you who didn't have any questions, who just tuned in to watch my content. As always, I thank you for tuning into my channel to watch my content, supporting me. You guys could hit that like button. That would be great. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, why haven't you hit that subscribe button? That's stupid. Don't be stupid. No, I'm just playing. You know what? If anybody wants to, yeah, I don't know, buy me a drink for my birthday because I'm going out, that's my Cash App. If you got Cash App and you want to send me $5 or $10 to help me cover the price of a drink, that'd be appreciated. But I don't make content, for money. So I'm gonna keep making content one way or the other. But yeah, um, again, Cash App always benefits me. But of course, if you wanna contribute to my channel, there are ways you could do that other than financially. If you like videos that I made, share those videos on Facebook or Twitter or whatever the fuck, right? If you see a video of mine and you think, wow, that was a really good point, share that shit so I can get more views. Really. So walk around naked in your house for your birthday. Okay, but not because you told me to. All right. Yeah, so as always, everybody, I wish nothing but health and happiness to you and everyone that you love. Stay safe, and yeah, that's what it is. Happy birthday to this old motherfucker. Yeah, that's how I feel. Late.